video. Today I have another electric bike from electricbikes.com. As you know, they sent me one last year, about a year ago, and I tested it, and then I handed that over to someone else to finish testing for me. And so they have created a new model. This year's model is pretty much the same bike with a step-through frame, and I really like step-through frames. You know, as you get older, I'm 65, getting your leg over the thing, especially if you're carrying some luggage, is pretty darn hard. Also, Electric Bikes has been a tremendous supporter of our community. They make these great folding portable bikes for a very excellent price. This bike is $8.99. I don't believe you can buy a cheaper bike. I know you can't buy a better bike for less money. It's impossible. And they support the community. Right now we're doing a van build giveaway, and they donated the money for 2 of the minivans that we're giving away. So they are supporting our community. I really hope that if you're thinking about an electric bike, this goes to the top of your list. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons of electric bikes, because they're not for everyone. But for right now, let's get this bike unboxed and take a look at it. One of the things I love about it is it's free delivery. It's $8.99 right now for this bike to your door, completely assembled. I love the idea of electric bikes. This will be my fourth. This is the 4th electric bike that I've had. The first 2 took a lot of assembly, and man, I hated that. I just hated having to assemble those things. It was a nightmare. Okay, I think this might be how you want to do it. Just get it on its side. It's got a luggage rack, so I'm going to try and grab it by that. Whoa. Okay, that wasn't so bad. That's how I would, we're all learning this thing together. Nice big fat seat, I like that. This swings out. So far, only one thing has confused me, and the handlebars don't come in the stem. And so I had to figure out how to put it in the stem without, I haven't looked at the manual, and let's see if we can do this without the manual. I've done it once before, and you won't reach up to here, but this is the way physics kind of works. If you move it down, and you can put it right in real easily, like that, and then you can put it up, and then it locks into place with this, and then this swings around and goes like that, and then it goes like that, and that's how this thing is assembled. And then this goes up here. So I've latched that. This has to latch down now like that. And it does come with a stand. So let's put the stand down. Comes with its own stand. What about the seat? Same thing here. It's just got this that pops out, and this goes up. It probably comes off, because it's one of the things people do is take the seats off so that they're, less desirable to steal. And then it just goes on at your height. Very simple. All the way down to all the way up. And then you get it at your height. Let's say mine is somewhere probably pretty low. It's got short legs. And then it's clamped. That is it. I think it's assembled. I think I just have to charge the battery and get on it and ride away. See, and this is the way you fold it. You just unlatch that, and now it's ready to put the thing up. I think it's ready to fold. Yeah, there's the battery. Go around, and then it would be disassembled. Get it all the way latched, and then that down. There's a little push here that releases it, locks it. It really is pretty simple. This is the black model. They have a white model. So let me give you the details on this bike. It's $8.99 right now in August of 2020. Free shipping, $8.99. It's to your door. Only one thing was required, and that was putting this in together. It was simple after I figured it out. Completely assembled, no pliers, no wrenches, no screwdrivers required. One thing has to be put together. A couple things have to be flipped out. It folds down really small. As you saw, it folds fairly easily. Has a 500-watt hub motor in the back. 10 amp hour, 48-volt lithium battery made by LG. So this is a high-quality battery. It lasts a long time. It has a 25 to 50 mile range. The way electric bike works, they have two modes of using the power. One is throttle assist. So when you start pedaling, the motor automatically kicks in a setting that you set, 1 through 5, and it assists your pedaling. So you have to pedal. It won't go without you pedaling it. And the other way is throttle only. So you don't even have to ever touch, your feet never even have to be on the pedals. You just turn the throttle right here. You just turn it just like a motorcycle or a scooter, and it goes when you do it. So you have those choices. And you have a range of 25 to 50 miles on the battery, and it all depends on how much you assist. What I think is a really big deal, it has fenders front and back. I wouldn't own a bike that I was using for practical transportation without fenders. And I think a lot of you will be riding one of these in the backwoods. I'm in the woods now. And so there's going to be mud, there's going to be dust, there's going to be rain, and I wouldn't own a bike without fenders. This comes with fenders. A lot of times you pay more for fenders. These come with it, already installed. I remember one bike I put together, the fenders were a nightmare. Putting those fenders on, it took the three of us. You were there, Robert. You were there, and it took the three of us a long time to be able to figure out how to put these fenders on. And one was a professional mechanic. He'd worked it full time his whole life as a mechanic. And it took the three of us to figure out how to do it. Has a light front and back, which is really good. The federal government regulates how fast these can go. If they go a certain speed on the motor, then they count them as a motor vehicle, and then it becomes a whole new thing. Under 20 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour or less, it's a bicycle under motor power. So when you're in the throttle mode, it will only go 20 miles an hour. But when you are in pedal assist mode and you're pedaling and the motor is helping, then it will go 28 miles per hour. So that allows it still to be a bicycle and not a motor vehicle. Another thing I love about these bikes is the fat tires. Because I'm on dirt roads and rocky roads a lot, and that will allow them to run them a little bit low, not a lot low, a little bit low, and then they will roll over and absorb some of the bouncing of the rocks and the jolting. It has a really wide brimmed seat. That's a really good wide seat, and between the comfortable seat and the big fat tires, you're going to be a lot more comfortable riding this thing down the road. And it has industry standard parts. So it has Tektro disc brakes. It stops really, really well. You get going 28 miles an hour and you want to be able to stop. And so it has standard Tektro disc brakes, and it has a 7-speed Shimano drivetrain. So these are industry standard parts. You can go to any bike shop, and if you need a repair somewhere down the road, and eventually you will, everything you buy eventually is going to need a repair. These are industry standard parts. You're going to be able to find them and get them fixed. So next, I want to talk to you about the pros and cons of electric bikes. I love electric bikes. I'm fascinated with them, but you need to understand they're not for everyone. I have known an awful lot of people, talking about myself here, but beyond me, a lot of people who spend the money, buy them, and then find out they just really aren't going to ride them. But first, let me talk to you about the reasons I love electric bikes and you should think about owning one. So for one thing, if you care anything about the earth, you're not burning fossil fuels. So a lot of us, like when I'm in Quartzsite, I'm 2, 3, 4 miles away from all the shopping that Quartzsite has, and I can just jump on this, run into town, get some water, dump some trash, bring home some groceries. I love that. In that process, I don't burn fossil fuels. I don't have to break camp. I don't have to put everything away. I just lock the van up, I ride the bike in, and I'm good to go. And I love that. I love the way it makes that so much easier. Another really great thing about a bike is the health benefits. Now, the problem, and I would never own a non-electric bike because my knees just won't allow me to do it. But with an electric bike, I can assist the motor a little bit and protect my knees, protect my heart, and still get some exercise and still get into town on the electric bike. And these things are fun. When it says 20 miles an hour, it means 20 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour. I mean, if you really work at it, these things will go that, and they're fun. You're out getting exercise, you're enjoying the air, you're protecting the earth, you're having fun, you're not damaging your knees. I love these things, and they're really good reasons for you to be thinking about getting one. So lots of pros, lots of reasons why people buy these. But be very careful and think about the cons. The first is the weight. This is 63 pounds. Now, 7 of that is the battery, so you can remove the battery and handle it separately. But that still leaves you about 55 pounds, and that's heavy. And it's awkward. You saw me do it. It's really not that big a deal, but I'm still strong enough and young enough that I can muscle this thing around. You've got to get it inside the rig. Where are you going to carry this inside your rig? If you can't carry this inside your rig, where are you going to carry it on the outside? You're going to get a bike rack. Good, that's kind of expensive. Uses up that space. Can you open your back door? Do you want to lose your back doors? Do you want to spend the money to get the ones that fold down or swing away? They're quite a bit of money. Then you've got to lift it up and put it up there. You've got to lift it up there and put it down. You know, every time you move camp, you've got to do that. Are you going to? And with a bike that's 63 pounds, a lot of people find they don't. They spent the money, they love the idea, they enjoy it when they're out, but they still end up not really using it. There's also the hassle factor. And to me, you've got to take that into account if you're thinking about one of these electric bikes. You got to get your helmet. I wouldn't ride without a helmet. Believe me, I rode motorcycles and I had a bad enough accident that without my helmet, I'd be dead or a blithering idiot, which of course some of you think I am. But without it, it would have been a whole lot worse than I am now. And so you're going to wear a helmet. You're probably going to wear a little jacket or light jacket or something. It's going to start raining on you in the middle of nowhere. You got to worry about someone stealing it. These things are, people love these things. They'll steal it. You got to carry a lock and lock it up every time. And one more con to go along with the Pro is, yes, you're not burning any fossil fuels, but you got to have solar. You got to have enough solar to keep this big battery charged. So do you have enough? Now, I'll test it out and I'll tell you how long it takes me to charge it and how practical it is. And I think an absolute minimum would be 200 watts, but a lot of us will be riding these the most in the winter when we're in the desert. That's when they're at their most practical because you can camp right outside of a quartzite or a Parker. And one of these is very, very practical in the winter, but you have your minimum amount of sun. My personal feeling is you're probably going to want a minimum of 200, but probably in the winter, you're going to really need 300 or 400 watts of solar to have the abundance above all your normal uses. Your fridge, especially if you're running a fridge, you need more. But your fridge and your laptop and all your other stuff, to charge this above that, do you have that much solar? Are you willing to add that much? They are wonderful. I love them, but I don't know if they're for you. I'm not trying to talk you out of buying an electric bike. I don't want you to waste your money either. Now for $900, it's as cheap an electric bike as you can buy. It's high quality and cheap. I know those two words don't go together. They go together here. Everything about them is great. Just make sure it's right for you and it's not money thrown away. So this is just the first of the videos. We unpacked it. We talked about the pros and cons. I'll write it and I'll give you more of a review of how it's working out for me. But I can just tell you from many people that I know who own these, they're great bikes. They're high quality. You won't ever regret buying this bike. You might regret buying any electric bike, but it won't be this one. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button,